Well, this whole stomach thing, I've been doing some research on the internet. I've had this for quite a while. It turns out, I could have parasites. It's possible. It's like, I don't think it was that bad, right? So, apparently you get these salts, these things, and it kind of gets your bile ducts moving, right? Just take these 3 salts for one day, and then I take this wormwood shit, and this fucking kills these cocks. Like, it's gonna be fucking I'll probably fucking make me real sick, but excuse me. This is brutal, right? It is brutal. I don't know what's going on there. It's brutal. No, it's like I have to get this out of my body. I have to figure out what the fuck's going on. Like, you know, it's pardon the pun, but it always puts me in a shitty mood, right? And I'm like coughing and stuff now. Oh, excuse me. Right, so that's very well what could it be? I have a fucking giant fucking worm in my stomach, right, or something like that. It's like, fuck, so I don't need. You know, they don't want to give it to me. I was like, I'll just go to the fucking thing myself and get it, right? Fuck. You know, I'll just do it myself, right? And that's that, right? It's like, you know, once again, the Toronto media, it's just like, I don't like them, man. I tell you the truth, for all anyone else who's watching this stuff, our media is really fucked, right? They're really weird people. They're like goofballs, right? Like good for Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, I can go on your show, brother. I can go on Jimmy Kimmel's show because I like Jimmy Kimmel's show, right? But there's no Todd Shapiro. There's no Canadian girls. There's no what do you call it? There's no Canadian girls, right? There's no Canadian girls. No, there's no Canadian people on my show, right? I'm coming to America. I'm gonna take that shit by storm, okay? Right? I will make America better than since I make myself better. I will make America better than it's ever been, okay? Right? I will make it better than it's ever been, right? It's for like the Toronto media. Yeah, there's lots of hot chicks, like, you know, big name celebrities, right? It's like, fuck, you know, big names. But here's like, I don't want nothing to do with you, right? It's like, fuck, because I think you're rude and ignorant, right? Here, sorry. Don't get my shot, you know. You know, so so we have to get this wormwood shit, right? Because this is like, so it sounds like I got some fucking parasites here. Right? You know, no one wants to give me the proper medicine because her little, like, Josie died. No, not in this life, honey. I'm like, hey, I'm the white male, and I think it's time for white males to start telling, you know, A, the black community to fuck off, because they're trying to tell me what to do, and B, these fucking feminist women, right? Because, you know, the emasculation of the white male has fucking got to come to an end. Because without us, right, the whole fucking thing doesn't work. And the way the media betrays us is bullshit. It's like, fuck, you know, undo this and do this because some woman told me to do it? No. All that stuff's coming around full circle now, right? It's time to be fucking men again, not little pansy guys, right, you know? Josie dies, like, you know what? I hope you are with Joel, and I really hope this is just some fucking thing, because I really don't like you. It's like Todd Shapiro, I really don't like him either, right? And I don't care. I don't care if they're Jews or not. I don't care. Big deal, right? Big Dan Levy. He's a bit of a fucking... I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but you don't have to just broadcast over the media now, right? You know, that's enough of that too, right? You know, like, you know, time to go back in the closet, guys, because I don't really want to hear about, you know, whatever you do, keep it yourself. I don't want to hear about that all the time either. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting tired of fucking hearing about your sex life and stuff, like your gay fucking romps and stuff like that, all over the fucking thing. Like, there's too many white gay guys in the fucking media, for sure. Like, you're going to have to pick one. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Andy Cohen, it's going to be Harvey Levine, it's going to be... There's too many of them now, right? It's like half the guys in fucking Hollywood are fucking represented as gay, right? So, well, I'm not gay. Maybe there is something wrong with it, right? So maybe it's time to, you know, go back in the closet. Fruitcake, right? You know, a few too many people are fucking in the movie. Speaking of, you know, one fucking big old blade right there. I actually just found out Raymond Burr was gay. I could, you know, live happily never knowing that, right? Raymond Burr, Perry Mason was gay. But, you know, like, I will, you know, Like, where can my comments be? You know, you're a security guard's gonna make your living. I don't want to be a level red security guard. It's like, and that's the thing. You know, I don't want to work for City. I don't want to work for City TV. I don't want to work. I definitely don't want to work for CP24. I don't want to work with. I don't like it here, right? Like, you know, I want to go home. You know, America's like LA is home. LA is the first place that really felt like home. It's it feels like home. LA is home for me. It's like, that's for sure. I love the people there. Actually, that's the best thing. I love the people there of LA. Like, they're kind of warm and friendly, right? They're kind of chill out. They're easy going, right? Like me, I'm pretty easy going. LA is home for me, right? It's like fucking. But I always keep on going back there whenever I can. It's like, you know what? Chances are that's. I haven't been to Texas yet, but chances are that's, you know, LA is pretty much. That's where I like to be, right? A lot of people do, but that's home for me. It's like, you know what? Toronto was like, oh, you know, Joe, you can. You can have Josie die, Toronto. It's like, you can say this, like, everywhere I go, like, Josie die. You're more than welcome to her. I don't like Ukrainian people, right? I don't. I think they're rude, they're ignorant. It's like, fuck, you know. And now the black people try to tell me, like, do this. I'm a white male. I don't care shit. Like, you know, all these, they go, black people, that's what, you know. And all these women. I'm a white male. I obviously don't care. Just because I choose not to answer you or argue all the time doesn't mean I don't have time to fucking, you know, dignify with your answer. I just don't care. You know, like, dude, Josie died. You're a B-touch person. I'm a white male. I'm a British white male. I don't give a fuck about them, right? And I just watch something like that. You know, like, Dutch people, like, you hate us. Like, you know, I don't really like you too much either. Fuck. You made me, over when I was growing up, you made it quite clear, I feel. So don't, for Holland, who cares? They all look like they're wood, a lot of wood anyways, right? So who gives a shit, right? So, you know, I don't really give a fuck about, you know, Dutch people, that's for sure. Like, you know, I really, you know, like, well, they're like, oh, somebody, yeah, they're just like weird little liar people. Like, Todd Shapiro's like a little German Jew, right? Like, he's a weirdo too, right? He's weird as fuck, right? You know, he's like a super weirdo, right? He's fucking. And like I said, they can dress up all the funny costumes they want here. They all run all these latexes. I don't care, right? It's like, I don't want to. It's like, you know, I don't like basketball, and I never will. It's like, fucking, that's another thing. I don't care. I just don't like basketball. And fuck the Toronto Raptors too. They're a bunch of fags. Like, I don't care. Like, they do this. Brad goes, no, I'm not. But like the black people were telling me what to do. No, I'm not. It's like Seth MacFarlane and Sarah Silverman. You're losers, right? You're like a wet blanket loser, and you're telling me what to do? Loser, right? You should get a big L tattoo on your forehead. Like, lose, like Sarah Silverman, loser, right? Todd Shapiro. This ain't a unicorn, baby. This is what you are. Those people are fucking whiners. Like liberal lefty whiners. Who cares, you know? Like, I'm just gonna fucking start booting them out and telling them to shut up. I don't care. Like, I have to live here. Like, my house isn't great, so I have to fucking kind of pipe down. Like, they're gonna do this and that. I'm not gonna do shit. Right? I'm not gonna do like anything I don't want to do. Like, do this, Brad. I don't want it. You know? Like, I'm living here with a bunch of fucking crystal meth heads and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to bother me, right? So it's like, fuck. Like, oh, come on down to CP2. I don't want to be. Right? But you know what? I would be a series regular on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, right? It's like, who needs Saturday Night Live where they can do that all the time instead, right? Like, fuck, that'd be more fun. More fun than Saturday Night Live. That'd be a series regular on the Jimmy Kimmel Show? Oh, yeah. Like, oh, that'd be way more fun, right? Than Saturday Night Live. Oh, it's like Saturday Night Live every night, like 5 days a week, right? I do get through a little sketch every day. That'd be fun, man. Working for Disney? Fuck yeah. Right? Working for NBC, it's like... You know, that's often, I'd love to work, you know, Jimmy Kimmel. I just think like, you know, I'm a celebrity. Like, who would I want to hang out with in Hollywood? Jimmy Kimmel, for sure. You know, he says he's a liberal, but I wonder. I wonder if he is. You know, Jimmy Kimmel, for sure. He's like the best, actually. He's like the biggest, he's a prick and a dick, and I kind of like him. He says what he wants, right? I like Jimmy Kimmel, so fuck off here. I don't have to. He's not corny. He's a bit smug and curt, and, you know. He's like, yeah, I would be good friends with Jimmy Kimmel. It's like, fuck, I do like Jimmy Kimmel. It's like, fuck, that's one guy I could be friends with. Is Jimmy Kimmel, right? Maybe he says he's a liberal. I don't think he is. He says he is, but I wonder. You know, I'd love to be on Jimmy Kimmel show. Everyone else is like, maybe, you know, I like, okay, Everyone's like, you know, everyone else has kids and shit. I don't want any, so it's like, fuck. Like at least he wants one. Not like, no. Jimmy Kimmel, though, like, he'd be fun, though. Definitely. I'd love to go on his show because, like, he's like a fun guy, right? He says what he wants, and he says I could say whatever I want. I don't care. I'd fucking do whatever I want. You're telling me your opinion, which is cool. He's the last of the real dudes, man. You know, like fucking, he's a real man, right? He doesn't play cute characters. I mean, that's who I'd want to be on his show for sure. Jimmy Kimmel for sure. He's a dick, right? Who else would I want to be? You know, who's weird? He's such a cornball. Everyone's so corny and a fag there, right? It's like fuck, you know what I mean? Like who else would, like, you know, maybe Chris Pratt, right? But he's like married family guy, right? It's like why do you want to do that? I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I do that. I don't want to. It's like, you know, not really. Jimmy Kimmel for sure. I'd be on his show for sure. It'd be a lot of fun. He's like, you know, but like, I guess Chris Pratt. That's about it. Like, who else would you want to hang out with on all that squid? They're all like a bunch of wieners, man, nowadays, right? Like, you know, like, there's no one really cool. There is no one really cool in Hollywood. Like, I think I'm cooler than everyone in Hollywood too, right? Except for Jimmy. He's like an equal, man. Jimmy Kimmel's like an equal. Like, he's like kind of a dank, right? He's like, yeah, I'm a bit of a prick. Hey, he's like, he's someone I like, though. He's like, yeah, I do like Jimmy. I like, you know, Craig Ferguson's not in there anymore, but. Yeah, I was like kind of. There's only a, and even Craig Ferguson's like Josie died. Like, get it out of your shit, Craig. Fuck off. You know? Yeah, Craig. Jimmy Kimmel. I was like, Guillermo and yeah, that's people I like, man. I don't know who else I'd hang out with, right? You know, like Hollywood used to be cool. Like, we used to have Sean Penn and all kinds of like wild. Kind of fun white guys, but now if you're a white guy and have a beer, like, oh my god, he's an alcoholic. Yeah, so what? The joys of being a fucking, you know, having all that kind of shit, right? It's like shit. Oh my god, he likes to have a beer. Oh well, fuck. Big deal. It's called being a dude. You know? Oh, send him to rehab. He's having a fuck off. He's having a beer. Yeah, fuck off. Right? You know what I mean? Or do this, right? As a white male, it's like, you know, fuck off, Josie Dye. And fuck off all Canada. It's like, fuck, you know, like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what Justin Trudeau's feminist media says. Like, fuck, do this, do that, fuck off. You know, fuck, go do this and that. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm being empty. Like, no, I want to go get out of here. I don't like it here. So it's like, fuck, that's the dream, is to get out of here, right? I'd like actually turn off all the Canadian media now on my fucking on my cell phone feeds, and because I don't have to watch it here. They don't have cable here, right? So it's like, so I've shut them all out. I've got Kimmel on my news feed, and that's that, right? You know, I guess he is a liberal. He says he is. I don't really feel that vibe off him, tell you. And he works for Fox. Is like, I wonder, you know, I'd love to come home to Fox, ABC Fox, and like, fuck yeah. That's like, those are my kind of people, the dinks, right? You know, Jimmy Kimmel. It's like, fuck. You know, they got Kelly and Ryan too. I could hang out there. It's like, you know, I went in New York. That's, you know, kind of people like I like, man. It's like fucking, I'd be right at home with them, man. They're not so like nicey nice, like Ryan Reynolds, buddy. We're not hanging out, buddy. Like you're not a bud, right? You know, like fuck, you know, you're not. You're too goody and corny for me, man. Like, sorry, like a rock, I wouldn't. Trust me, buddy. It's like, I'll tell you one thing. I don't think I need black friends, right? It's because, you know, like black community thinks like white people need to be validated by them. I don't want any black friends, okay? It's like, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, fuck, so what, right? So I don't care, right? So what, right? You know, fucking words hurt, and it's like I found out that, you know, whatever. But you know, that would be fucking on the Jimmy Kimmel show. That'd be all right, man. That's one guy. That's one person in Hollywood. I think all the other fucking people in Hollywood are a bunch of fucking Peter Pan ass motherfuckers, right? Right. You know, I think so. It's like, fuck. There are some, like, there's not no one left in Hollywood. Dave Bautista's alright. He seems like a fucking alright But you know, like I don't know, I probably have to hang out with some guys like that. You know, I probably would go maybe hang out with some of those wrestler guys or something like that. Because there's not really very many men left in Heidelberg, like white guys that are cool anymore. They're all fags now, right? You know, they're all like this now. Actually, yeah, be a serious regular on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I think that'd be a better fit for me on the Saturday Night Live. I was like, shit, yeah, I was like, absolutely, bro. It's like, you know. Hey, but even he's like, Thea. It's like, oh, whatever, Jimmy. Maybe she moved out to Hollywood or something like that. Well, fuck, you know, I don't see her moving out to Hollywood. And she's like a midget, too. She's a midget. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like little tiny girls, right? Like, fuck. I mean, I've slammed a couple, right? But I've slammed some actually, I like quite a few. But in actual fact, I do like them like a little 5'6", 5'7"-ish, right? Like, that's pretty much, like, I'm 5'9". I don't like them like super short or nothing like that, right? Like, I do like them like that, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fucking, you know, those guys, those chicks really, like, those little girls, they just need, like, little men. Right? Little tiny guys, right? You know, little fucking wee men. It's like, fuck. Like, tiny little short girls, like, fuck, you know. It's like, you know, and once again, like, you know, they're saying all this stuff to me. I can't stress this enough. No, Josie, no. Right? No, Josie, no. I don't find her attractive. I don't like her personality. I don't like the people that endorse her. Like, you know, like, that Ruth Bear chick or whatever the fuck her name is, and, Judge Judy, like, you know, these yelly, screaming Nancy Pelosi type chicks. You know what? Fuck, I've had enough of those chicks in the media. You know, yeah, I would definitely love to go back to the 80s and stuff like that, right? Because I've had some really kick-ass movies, right? 80s were like the 50s, was fucking awesome. 80s, some 90s too, yeah, some that's cool. But more stuff like that is way better. Boys, before we go to Obama, I used to fucking pop culture. It's like, fuck me, man. It's like, fuck me. Yeah, stuff like that, right? See if I can make my ears wiggle. You see that? Watch for it. That's Jedi mind control right there. That's the powers of the Sith. We have the ability to wiggle our own ears. Yeah. Check it out. See that? Right? They can't do that. The Jedis cannot wiggle their own ears, right? It's like shit. That's yeah, you have to be watched really careful for that, but that actually is master level ear wiggling, right? Master level, right? That's not an apprentice Sith, right? That's a master level. A master level. When you can wiggle your ears. True master, right? Yeah. The dark side. Yeah, like see, like I like wearing dark clothes and shit like that. I know I've been wearing this for a lot, but here at the dormitory we don't judge. Right? We go days on end, we're in the same outfit. No one seems to mind. No one seems to mind. It's an environment without judgment. You know? An environment without boundaries, right? You know? No limits allowed, right? Because here at 69 Fraser Street, our motto is not in the sky's the limit, right? So, they can like, oh, don't worry, like, oh, dude, I got lots of time left, man. I'm like I said, I'm ready. Like, I'm learning about alpha fold and all these kinds of cool stuff, like alpha fold, like it's how to fold proteins. It's like the more I kind of divulge into this, it's like there's like the squiggly protein and the folding sheet. Just bind them together. It's like, and they got the new computer software and stuff like that. It's like, oh my god, it seems amazing, man. It does like all the work for you. Sure, we need people to go find out the new stuff, but it's like this, like, seems like the way to go, man. The way to go, right? Like new proteins, synthetic biology. Ooh yeah. right? Wait till the bodybuilding industry gets old of that, right? Micro, like, oh, there's that word I forgot about. Not nucleotide, molecule. Right, molecule is the word of the day. Molecule. Molecular biology. Molecular engineering. Molecular, things on an atomic level. That's awesome, right? I love, like, see, me personally, sure, I'm like a bro dude talking kind of like, Axl Rose kind of guy, whatever, but like, I love that stuff, man. That stuff's just like, blows my lid right off, man. It's like, whoa. That knocks my socks. What we can do with that stuff, like, redesign better things, man. It's like, make them better than their current nature. They just made, like, as of 1940, I just found out, it's like, look on the periodic table today. They have, like, 20 extra elements that are man-made, right? So what if we start making man-made proteins, right? Better than their current nature. Standardizing protein shapes and stuff like that, like, as long as they work. We know these protein shapes work. Find the ones that work and just standardize it, right? Let's start, doing that, right? Whoa, wouldn't that be awesome? Like, I'm right into, like, that kind of stuff. Like, I can only do my own finger. That's, like, really, like, where we need to start investing. You know what? This stuff's not that hard. I mean, sometimes it's a challenge, but I watch all these videos things. Like, I guess I'm a visual learner. I read the book. I read, like, Science for Dummies or whatever the hell is, Microbiology for Dummies, and then you watch the videos too. It's okay. Like, PCR, Lemmer's chain reactions. Like, we can make a lot of stuff that way, right? Get a lot of vitamins and stuff like that. Like HGH or something like that. You can make the shit whack that stuff, right? Like, woo. Or you can even, and license it, like, the cell cracks open, all that stuff spreads all over the place, right? And that's what they use. They're using yeast instead of friggin' now I just learned E. coli, right? It's like, but what if we just started making, like, cooking induced polypotent stem cells, loading them with the correct viral DNA to program them with, right? And I just make that my own HGH in my own body. And they're programmed to do that. That's their function. They have a promoter and a regulator thing, right? To express genes and whatever. What else do they have, Something that helps the promoter. What's another thing?
This council does not exist.
Stuff to, what's the term? Interference stem cells, right? So we can stop things also from expression stuff. There's a lot we could do. A lot of cool stuff, right? Like this alpha fold stuff. These guys actually have a protein folding competition. That's the thing. I'm learning how that kind of works, right? Like, a nucleotide to a histidine, but I'm still kind of figuring that stuff's still just a little body, right? But that's still, branched chain amino acids turn into nucleotides, which get read and turned into proteins, and there's transfer terms, that get read by the ribosome, and blah 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 blah, right? So that's I'm figuring that out. It's not that hard. So it's pretty cool. It's like AUG means go, and AUUA means stop. There's 3 stopping mechanisms, right? So it's not that hard. It's like shit. And they're also, like, making software, right? So they can, run, like, scenario lab experiments, right? And then, hey, just do the best one, and then we do it in real time, and see if it works then, right? Or wouldn't that be sick? They're just doing so many things. Like, hey, I think that's cool, right? I like that stuff, right? I'm not a goody liberal. I'm one of the evil dark people. Fucking, the evil bad guys who like science always get the best edge on his enemies. Oh, Skeletor's got a new ray gun or something like that. Wow. Because he's not dope, right? Skeletor is sharp as a razor, right? I love those guys. They always have the best, hey, General Zod comes with a world generator, right? I was actually thinking about that. What if I could just, like, program some kind of a seed, It just goes into an atmosphere, like the moon, starts bonding nitrogen with CO2 or something, or hydrogen or something like that. We start creating oxygen or something like that. We create an atmosphere, right? You know what I mean? They talk about, changing things, like the structures of things, right? It's like, well, we got all this water, the things are overflowing, you know what? Let's just release that and turn that back into oxygen. It's hydrogen, which is like the most common element in the universe, hydrogen, and 2 oxygens. We'll just release the oxygen, just turn it into oxygen, right? But what if we could just actually do that, and then sometime, and turn it into oxygen and hydrogen, and then just turn it into reform it, turn it into like little pellets, so we could transform it, right? So we could get it into, pack like crates full of it on a space shuttle or something like that, and then take it to the moon, right? And think, oh, wouldn't that be interesting, right? Wouldn't that be interesting? Because we're learning all kinds of stuff, how to change stuff, reconfigure things. It's like, I'd love to learn about that stuff. Like, I think that's really interesting, right? If I let stuff fail. Also, I was watching about Buddy's science, math, physics, and chemistry and beyond. Yeah, physics. I'd have to work on my algebra and stuff like that. Doesn't seem that it seems like a little challenging, right? Seems a little challenging. So you know what? I could probably handle that. I haven't tried calculus, but I have done tangents and triangles and stuff like that. So and I can do a little algebra. I probably have to brush up on that, but you know what? It's doable, right? He's got all that in his course, right? And all the biology sides, like, well, they even other stuff, like little books, like coloring books on cell stuff, and like books on hydrocarbons and all kinds of stuff like that, right? It's like, I like learning about those things, right? And hey, what can I do with them? The regenerating neurons in the head. So many things we could do now, right? We had some kind of thing that helps the promoter catalyze stuff, right? Well, what if I like somewhat catalyze thing, right? Not entirely, but like apparently we catalyze a lot of testosterone, and we ended up pissing that away. What if we stopped doing that, right? It's like, or like steroids, or like does occur or do occur naturally, apparently. What if I just could make an organic steroid? Not just gene expression, thing like that. I learned about like the lactose thing, an operon system. It's like the molecule goes into the regulator and releases, and then the polymerase goes on the promoter. Anyways, the promoter goes on that, reads the codes. They're like, and it says to start making proteins for this thing, right? And then it gets transferred to the ribosome, blah blah blah, the large unit, subunit. It's like, what? But then we can make maybe better ribosomes and better polymerase, right? The helicase unzips it, and the lycose or something like that glues it back together again, right? The new strand, right? The leading strand. That's not that hard. I could learn about the Krebs cycle, or get it for that's a little tricky, but ATP. They keep talking about cold fusion and things like that, right? But what if we just made like a bioreactor that releases ATP and has a positive substrate, right? Or product of a substrate, right? What if we did that? Because ATP is just electrons, right? Which are that's energy. It turns, like the circuits. I could learn about the circuits and stuff too, and end up combining the two, right? A bioreactor, right? We talk about biofuels, right? What's going on here? Yeah, biofuels, right? Instead of and burn things off that, right? Bio engines. We can do lots of things. Like Karen, there's so many things we can do now, right? Everyone's like this. I've got something better. What if I can restore collagen proteins synthetically, right? Better than nature, right? or the skin within the cellulite, right? No wrinkles, never, right? You know. Now they can restore I watched another video. They're 3D printing collagen for the knees now, right? They also have replacement joints, right? They can have replacement bones by this company called Atom, right? So actually, I can make myself a couple inches taller, like that. And they're starting to make, brand new mention for like some kind of tissue, some kind of. Those people kind of know. Tissue for the body, right? What's it? It's called mesenchymal cells or something like that. Epithelial cells. Something like that. Learned about the bonding of fucking, like even the periodic table. It's like I never really think about it. It's like it's not that hard, man. You know what? Science. It's not that hard. I bet you it gets more challenging, But hey, I'm just dicking around with the fundamentals, right? Science is fun. Do lots of science experiments, right? Science is fun, right? Science is fun, right? Absolutely. They got Science Bob on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Science Bob. Oh my God, it's Science Bob. Like making lasers and stuff like that. That sounds like fun, right? I know. I would probably do stuff like that. So hey, cool. Today we're making a tachyon laser, right? We're gonna make this watermelon blow up, right? And we're gonna show you how to do it, right? Cool, right? Stuff like that. Like, hey, I'd be on the Jimmy Kimmel Show in a heartbeat. Right? That's one guy I can be friends with. I guarantee it's Jimmy Kimmel. He says he's a liberal, but I don't believe him, right? I just don't believe him. I know there's still some evil in you somewhere, Jimmy. There's still some of that cold, dark, conservative blue within you, Jimmy. I know it's in there. I know it's there. Right? So I could be on the Jimmy Kimmel Show for sure. I love that. Just screwing around. It's like, it's fun. I'd feel right at home there. It's like, right at home on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, right? Excuse me. Provided I beat the stomach thing. I could sign with ABC. Hardly the means, like, well, blood, I mean, I had a good time watching your show and stuff like that, but you're kind of like a da-de-da type show, right? Whereas I'm like, getting on a Peloton, take some NADH plus, right? Right? I find something kind of thing that boosts that NADH plus. And we can fix, make aftermarket mitochondria, all kinds of little things. Once the bodybuilding people start getting onto that, it's like, ooh, the health fanatics. No more fat people, right? You just do it, adjust it on your, BMI and everything, right? They can set that like a timing belt in a car, right? Just like, they always call it the machinery of the cell, right? So I'm glad this, and look at the brain as a CPU, right? We can make Pentium processors for the brain, right? I was watching this other thing, computer science meets this and that, right? Like, it's amazing, storing information on DNA. It's like, wow. and then eventually put it right into the neurons, into the brains, right? The synapses. Wouldn't that be wild stuff? Anyways, ta-ta for now. I'm asleep. In the sinks. I have to get some wormwood somehow. Like fucking $4 a minute. But I have to get that going. Oh yeah, and you know what? I do like really large breasted women, right? Like I don't care, like skinny chicks with like huge tits. I do like that. Oh well, right? I do like those like Vegas, like like hey, mom's a cheater. That's one of my favorite ones, right? I do like large breasts. They do have coal plant ones, right? Apparently, I don't know the atomic weight of collagen versus silicone. I have to look that up, but. There's like light weight and they're like organic. Instead of your own collagen, they make them, right? So it's compatible with you, right? So like, no sags. It'd always be like perky boobs, right? Big, huge perky boobs that are lightweight. Alrighty, right? And we're making new organs and stuff like that. It's like, ugh. I mean, if I beat this, like I must find a way to go get rid of that. The stomach thing. right? And they have these wonderful vaccines. Like, oh, I could go for a lot longer, 20 years, if I beat this fucking thing. They fix my foot. Right? So many things, right? Even like supplements in the future. I think it'll just be more like a soft touch needle. Once again, that's another idea. It's a great one. Blah blah blah. So, anyways, like, you know, but who cares? Like, you know, like if we live forever, like we're going to Mars and other places. We have lots of space here, like Greenland and all kinds of places. Who cares? We couldn't fix it. I said, oh, we'll just turn that. Actually, oh, we got all this extra water. Let's just turn it into clean oxygen, right? Like, oh, and we just rebond things with different things. Like, who cares? Like, once again, using science, not the chicken little. Like, oh my God, the liberals, oh, scary tag, scary. Let's just turn it back into oxygen. That's all it is. Free, it's clean oxygen, right? That's all we need to do. Anyways, I gotta let you go.